Are you hesitating to buy a pre-owned watch online or in the store? Hello and welcome to Swiss Watch Gang. Today I thought about doing a new video segment on the channel called the most iconic watches ever. We'll talk about watches and especially models that are the most important for the industry, have a distinguished design language, and are usually recognizable from far away. Today's watch cases are the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, the Rolex Submariner, Cartier Santos Omega Speedmaster, and last but not least, the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso. Comment down below which watches should I include in the next episode. All the 5 watches here were lent to me by our partner for this video, Bucherer in Zurich. These are available to purchase in their certified pre-owned program, so if you follow the link in the description, you might be fast enough to purchase them. With some models, I know they will be gone quicker than the others. This is the place I bought my Cartier Tank basculant, if you remember, from last year, and as you might remember as well, I made quite a deal on that watch. 3,600 Swiss francs when the market price was around 4,500 Swiss francs. I first saw the watch on their website, which they always update, and I immediately contacted them to see if it's available. I then went to their certified pre-owned lounge, got a nice cup of coffee, and had the pleasure of trying it on. It's a very relaxed atmosphere with many watches on display from all the brands we love, and sometimes, like I did, you can even find a hidden gem like my basculant. Each watch that they buy for sale is inspected by their certified in-house watchmakers. They are certified by the brands and work for Bucherer, which is not the case in most certified or verified resale watch businesses. They obviously check for the authenticity of the components, make a full service, and you get a 2-year warranty when you buy the watch, risk-free as if you're buying a new watch. The Audemars Piguet Royal Oak is one of my favorite watch designs, as I'm sure it's for many of you watching. How could it not be? Designed by the famous godfather of watch designs, Gerald Genta, the man behind the Patek Philippe Nautilus, IWC Engineer, Universal Genève Power Router, and many more. The model was introduced in the market in 1972 as a luxury sports watch and was quite expensive since it was basically a new concept at the time. This year the Royal Oak celebrates the 5th year anniversary, and if you have been following the market or wanted to order one in the last year or two, you notice that it's becoming extremely difficult by the month. That's why many run to buy them on the secondary market. The exact model we have here is the reference 15300. I actually used to own the same watch with a black dial in 2015, and I remember selling it back then for 9,600 Swiss francs to a guy that came all the way from France. Today this exact model here is selling for 75,000 Swiss francs, including the original box and papers. The price I got back in the day was actually a good market price, but the rise of the model has been astronomical, so it literally changes by the year, mostly even by the month. The Royal Oak is mostly known by its octagonal bezel with quote-unquote aligned screws, a topic you're familiar with here on my channel, the iconic tapisserie dial, and the integrated bracelet, which is unique on the market. If you're someone that loves Rolex watches or you want to start your own collection with one, a Submariner is a logical, versatile and safe purchase. An iconic watch which came out in 1953, it has been a staple of diver and sports watches in general. An unmistakable design which didn't change a lot apart from some colors, robustness and other iconic features. When people who don't collect watches ask me about the Submariner and complain that it's always the same, I give them the example of Porsche, which also has a distinct design which didn't change a lot apart from a few models and different sizes. This reference 16610 is available to purchase and is a real treat. It's a vintage model which again is fully serviced by Bucherer's Rolex certified watchmakers and in great condition. The price is 12,700 Swiss francs and it comes even with the original box and papers. This is the quintessential diver's watch. When you ask me about a diver's watch design, this is the watch that pops in my mind. It was the first diving watch water resistant to 100 meters back in the day, and the watches were so robust and reliable that they were even used by the military. Its design is distinguished by the diver bezel, which is smooth in operation, the iconic oyster bracelet, and of course the Cyclops magnifying window hovering above the date. Whenever you want to buy a Submariner, you have the choice of purchasing a new one, which is getting harder and harder to do, and the price also on the secondary market is crazier by the week, or you can buy a certified pre-owned one like this and have an even more important and rare model in your collection. When it comes to the iconic design, robust look and versatility, the Cartier Santos can't be left out of the conversation. The steel with gold accents model was introduced in 1978 to a wider audience and marketed as an affordable sports watch. The idea of Alain Dominique Perrin, CEO of Cartier at the time. But its roots begin much earlier in time. In 1904, the first Cartier wristwatch was put on the wrist of aviation pioneer Alberto Santos Dumont and created by none other than Louis Cartier. After that, Mr. Cartier joined forces with Edmond Jaeger and together they mass-produced the Santos watch that was all the way back in 1911. The Cartier Santos, a watch I also have the pleasure of owning, is super versatile and the price performance is great. You can wear it with a suit and a tie all the way down to a white t-shirt and jeans, which I definitely do all the time. This model, as other Cartier watches, is available in the Bucherer online shop or in Zurich, where I also bought my Tank Basculante. If you want to have a smaller collection and you like the prestige, look and feel of the Cartier Santos, it is definitely worth considering. The most distinguished elements are the screws on the bracelet as well as on the bezel. Again, not aligned because these are actually screws, not bolts as on the AP we've seen before. You also get the typical Roman numerals and sword-shaped hour and minute hand. There are still quite a few models which aren't hyped up on the market, so I think getting a nice Santos is something you should consider. And there is also a big Cartier community which is fun to be a part of. This particular model here is available for 3,900 Swiss francs, and it also features the original box and is obviously serviced by a Cartier certified watchmaker at Bucherer. This next watch is for someone who is either just starting out his watch collecting journey or wants to add one after seeing it so many times on people's wrists. We can't do a segment with 5 iconic watches without talking about the mighty Omega Speedmaster, or as it's often referred to as the Speedy. A distinct look with its iconic black chronograph dial, no date, sleek bezel and twisted lugs, this watch is also one of those chameleons. A watch that looks great on a bracelet, leather strap or NATO strap, truly suitable for all occasions. Introduced in 1957 as a sports and racing chronograph, this is the watch that Buzz Aldrin wore on July 20, 1969 during the Apollo 11 mission where he took his steps on the moon. Yes, the actual moon. The movement inside was one that I and many others particularly like, the caliber 321, which can also be found in a modern reinterpretation. If you can get your hands on one, that is. The Omega Speedmaster line today comes in many executions, from the use of different movements, different dials, complications, limited editions and non-limited editions. This model right here is a showstopper and for 5,700 Swiss francs it can be actually yours. A good price in my opinion. Buying a nice modern Omega Speedmaster today is often a long process, especially if you want to buy one with the 3-to-1 caliber. That's why many go for a pre-owned one, since it's often priced similarly or slightly higher, depending on the model obviously. Based on the last revenue reports for the year 2021, Omega comes in on 3rd place just behind Cartier and Rolex as one of the leading Swiss watch manufacturers. The Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso is the last watch of our iconic 5 that we are going to look at today. It's a model that was born out of necessity at the time and not purely because someone wanted to make a pretty watch. Introduced in 1931 and designed by René Alfred Chavot, the Reverso was developed to have a reversible case so the polo players could protect the dial and the glass, but still wear a watch during the match. Fun fact, the same company Spécialité Horlogère SA developed the Cartier Basculante case that I own, which hit the market in 1932. This year celebrates its 90th anniversary of the Basculante. Another fun fact is that the Reverso stands for turnaround in Latin. My favorites so far are the Reverso Tourbillon in rose gold from 1993 and the polarizing Reverso Gyro Tourbillon models, which are a bit big on the wrist but make up for it in coolness. The Reverso is obviously recognizable by its rectangular case and rectangular dial, slightly curved lugs and the most important feature, a reversible case. If you see a man wearing something that you might think is a watch because it looks like a big rectangular bracelet, it might be a Reverso. The models come in a lot of different dial variations, sizes, movements and complications. That's why you don't necessarily need to own only one, but can own multiple and still have variety in your collection. The price of this particular model is 17,600 Swiss francs, which is fair given the condition, certified service and obviously the Bucherer 2-year warranty. They also have other JLC watches available, so make sure to check those out after the video. When it comes to buying pre-owned watches online, there's different ways to go about it, and buying a watch which is authenticated and serviced by brand certified watchmakers is truly something you don't see often. You can also trade in your watch, and it's also fun to just spontaneously visit them, grab a coffee and chat watches, since the guys working there are super chill and real enthusiasts like you and me. Let me know which model is your favorite out of these 5, which ones you think I should get, and which should we feature next time. Special thanks to Bucherer for partnering up with us for this video. Make sure to give them a follow, I will link everything down in the description, and go check out their certified pre-owned selection. You might just find the next watch for you. Thank you for watching guys, and as always, I'll see you next week.